Hi, second graders. Today we are going to be looking at lesson 1-9. They are going to be asking us to solve addition and subtraction word problems. So we're going to be looking at keywords in the problem to help us to understand and know whether or not we're going to be adding or subtracting. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and look at our lesson together. Again, that's lesson 1-9. You're going to find it on page 53. On that page, you will see Marta with a big apple. And if you need a minute to find that page, you can go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and read the story. Okay, it says Diego has 6 apples. Leslie has 9 apples. How many more apples does Leslie have than Diego? Will you add or subtract to solve this problem? Explain. Okay, so we know that the first thing that we're going to do is look for the important information. So I know that Diego has 6 apples. That's important to know. I know Leslie has 9 apples. That's important to know. The next thing I want to do is identify what the question is asking me. And in this case, it's asking me, how many more apples does Leslie have than Diego? Okay, those how many more words are key words. They're asking us to compare the amount of apples that Diego has with the amount of apples that Leslie has. And whenever I'm being asked to compare, boys and girls, I know I'm going to subtract, okay? So when I see down here, I get to choose between add or subtract. To solve this problem, I know I'm going to need to subtract. So let's all circle that in our books now. Good. Okay, and so here's where I'm going to be writing my equation. And so now I can look back at the numbers that I have underlined. Diego has 6, Leslie has 9. I also know that whenever I subtract, I have to start with the, you got it, biggest number. So I'm going to be starting in this case with 9 because 9 is bigger than 6. So I'm writing 9. Go ahead and do that with me. I'm going to take away, how many did Diego have? He had 6, right? And then I'm going to put my equal sign there. Now, if you have 9 take away 6 in your long-term memory, then you're going to go ahead and plug that number in right away. If you don't know, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and do a picture model up here to help us, okay? So I can go ahead and draw my 9 apples to begin with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's my 9 apples. And I know I'm going to be subtracting 6 from that. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how many does that leave me with? 1, 2, 3. That's right, it leaves me with 3. If you want to check that answer, another way that you could have solved was to put up 9 fingers, right? And to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see I'm left with 3. That's right, okay? Another way you could have done it is taking that smaller number and counting on till you got to the bigger number. That's a strategy we've been practicing a lot together. So what would it sound like? Do it with me. It sounds like this. 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. I got 3 fingers, right? Good. Okay, so 9 take away 6 gives me 3. My difference is 3. So Leslie has 3 more apples than Diego. Okay? All right, boys and girls, if you need more time on this page, you can go ahead and pause the video now. Right? And then we're going to go ahead and look at the next page together. All right, so Marta is here again, and you can see she has her word problem here. And just kind of taking a peek ahead, I can see she's going to use a type of parts to whole chart, which is called a bar diagram, okay? bar diagram. So let's see what her word problem is. 17 books are on a table. 8 books are on a shelf. How many fewer books are on the shelf than on the table? Okay, so my important information is that there are 17 books on a table. There are 8 books on the shelf. And now look at the question. How many fewer books are on the shelf than on the table? All right, what are they asking us to do? They are asking us, that's right, to compare. They want to know who has fewer or less than the other, okay? So, or they want to know how many fewer, I'm sorry. But we're comparing. So let's look at the next box. It says the shelf has fewer books. Well, books on the table, that amount was 17. Books on the shelf, that amount was 8. They want to know how many fewer books are on the shelf. Okay, well again, that strategy that we just looked at, boys and girls, where we put that smaller number in our head and we count on to the bigger number is going to help us to solve for that. So we just practiced it together with the other word problem. We're going to do that again. We're going to be putting 8 this time in our heads, and we're going to count on until we get to 17. All right, here we go. Sounds like this. Do it with me. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. How many did I have to jump? That's right, I have 9. 9 fingers up. So taking that back to this bar diagram chart, I know that my missing part here is 9, okay? All right, so if I use my equations to represent this bar diagram, it would read 17 minus 8 equals 9, that's right. And I have my related fact down below. 8 plus 9 equals 17. See how those numbers are all related? That's right, 8, 8, 9, 9, and 17, 17. All right, so a final piece tells us there are 9 fewer books on the shelf. Okay, all right, so that's a really important thing to remember is whenever they're asking you to compare, right? Like on the first page, they were asking how many more. And on this page, they were asking us how many fewer. So those are both comparing numbers. Whenever they compare, we are going to subtract, okay? If they're asking us how many all together or in all, they want us to take them all together, then we know we're going to be adding, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead then and look at the guided practice here. The directions say to write an equation to solve each problem. Use counters if needed. All right, so let's take a look at number 1. And I have my counters here for my toolkit in case I need them. Okay, so I'm just going to put those to the side for now as I read. If you want to take a second to get your counters, you can go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and read number 1. All right, Sam has 5 red tomatoes and 3 green tomatoes. How many tomatoes does he have in all? Okay, so it's important to know he has 5 red, he has 3 green, and they want to know how many does he have in all. Okay, so this time we're not comparing numbers. We're not asking who has more or who has less or fewer. We're asking how many in all, so all together. Okay, whenever we're being asked how many all together, we're going to be adding. So I'm going to go ahead and put my addition sign in there, and then I can fill in my numbers. He had 5 red, and put that there. He had 3 green, put that there. So 5 plus 3 equals All right. Now I can count on, I can start at 5 and count on 3 more as my strategy, or they also suggested that you can use your counters if you'd like. Okay, I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and count on because it's important for us to continue to practice that and model it together. It's a really important strategy to have, okay? So I'm going to put 5 in my head. I'm going to count on 3 more. And it sounds like this. Do it with me. 5, 6, 7, 8. I landed at 8. So I'm going to go ahead and write 8 there. That makes sense, right? 5 and 3, if I add them, I'm going to get a number that's higher than either of those. All right, so altogether he has 8 tomatoes. All right, let's look at number 2. I'm going to read that problem for us. There are 16 party hats in a box. There are 10 party hats in a bag. How many fewer hats are in the bag than in the box? Okay, so my important information is that there are 16 in a box and there are 10 hats in the bag. Now look at the question. How many fewer are in the bag than in the box? All right, look, how many fewer? What are they asking us to do? Compare the numbers or ask how many altogether? They're asking us to compare, right? They want to know how many fewer or less are in that box. So that tells me I'm going to be subtracting. You got it. Now, whenever I subtract, I always have to start with the bigger number. You got it. So my bigger number here is 16. Take away 10, because there were 10 in the box, equals something. All right. My brain really likes when we add and subtract with 10. 16 take away 10 would leave me with, you got it, 6. Okay, there are 6 fewer hats. Now, it might be that you weren't sure. What is 16 take away 10? Well, what is the strategy we have? We can put that smaller number in our heads and count on to the bigger number. So our smaller number here is 10, and we can count on to 16. Let's see what happens. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look at that. I got 6 fingers showing. So I've just confirmed that my answer is 6. Okay. All right, boys and girls. So if I come to the next page, I can see I have my independent practice, and they're asking us to write an equation to solve each problem. Use counters if needed. So again, I have my counters handy here. You can take your counters from your toolkit, and you can also have them handy to help you out. You also have your 10 frames in there, right, to use along with the counters. Those can help too. So you are going to be working on numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 today. You're going to do those 4, okay? As a bonus, number 7 is one that you can also do as a bonus, but these 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the have-tos, okay? And 7 is a bonus one. All right, boys and girls. If you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out. You can even bring your book with you at our Google Meet. And if you need to ask me something about this assignment, then we can talk about it then. Okay. Otherwise, I will see you soon, and I hope you have a good day. Okay. All right, guys. Bye.